Welcome to the Deal's Healthcare Dealmaking Symposium. I'm Kathleen Flynn, and I'm talking with Kenneth Klee, the editor of Corporate Dealmaker. Thanks for joining us, Ken.
Oh, thanks, Mary.
So let's talk about the broad trends and how, in particular, the turmoil in the financial markets are affecting healthcare deals today. What are you seeing?
We're seeing a number of effects. Obviously, something that this sort of huge is going to have an effect on everybody, and certainly it's having an impact on the healthcare market. One instance of that, I think, is not the closing, but the narrowing of the IPO window for a lot of biotechs. And so the preferred exit, it seems, for biotechs these days is to sell out to a strategic. Now, we've seen a couple of deals along those lines, a sale to Bristol Myers last fall, and more recently one to Pfizer.
And what about healthcare IT? Of course, I cover technology, so I'm always interested in that piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting activity in the healthcare IT space. For a couple of decades now, there have been companies being formed to try and solve the massive paperwork logjam that is clogging up the U.S. healthcare system. The problem that they've encountered is that there are so many solutions, so many distinct, hard to integrate technological solutions that nobody has really sort of come up with a comprehensive solution yet. There are a number of companies doing deals now, doing consolidation, trying to create that comprehensive solution. And we've seen that activity moving along pretty well, notwithstanding the turmoil in the markets.
And the challenges of integrating, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. One key thing that we see these companies doing before they buy is they tend to partner, because they really need to prove that they can put together a customer solution that actually works before they go ahead and buy the company.
Sounds like a good strategy. Now, what about big pharma? A lot of people here at the symposium are talking about big pharma and whether or not the business model is obsolete.
Well, obsolete may be too strong a word, but on the other hand, maybe not by that much. In fact, if you look at big pharma, that's another area where the turmoil in the credit markets is having an impact, because you've got a couple of very large companies in the midst of a restructuring. One is Pfizer, and another is Bristol Myers. Bristol Myers has, right at this moment, it has put its Mead Johnson, a very large nutritional company that does a lot of infant formula and other products. They're on the block. They're thought to be worth 7 to 9. I've even seen figures as high as $10 billion for that. Now, a year ago, that might have been a reasonable target for a private equity buyer. It may still be, but it's certainly going to be a lot harder for a private equity buyer to step up and raise the level of debt that it would need to take on something like that.
So who, in that case, who would be a potential buyer? What kinds of companies?
Well, let's see. Danone recently bought a big baby food operation. Interestingly, it bought a baby food operation that had been sold by the guy who had just came in as CFO of Bristol Myers. Now, whether there's anything to conclude from that, we don't know. Let's see, I believe Nestle also recently made a big baby food purchase as well.
So there may be some buyers out there.
Yeah, and they're more likely to be strategic than financial buyers. And also on the question of the business model of big pharma, like the goal of Bristol Myers Squibb in particular is to streamline itself, to get out of these sort of diversified healthcare businesses and remake itself as a biopharma, which is a different thing from the old model big pharma, which was mainly involved in small molecule drugs. They're now moving into the large molecule drugs, the proteins that the biotechs make. That's not just a business change, it's a cultural change. It'll be interesting to see how it works out.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a very interesting year in healthcare.
I think so.
Thank you very much, Kenneth Klee from Corporate Dealmaker, and thank you for watching. I'm Kathleen Flynn with The Deal.